forecast for northwest Wisconsin, including Ladysmith for today, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 60s. North winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. At 6 a.m. in Ladysmith, it was cloudy. The temperature was 43 degrees, the dew point was 42, and the relative humidity was 95%. The wind was northwest at 5 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.04 inches and rising. Across Wisconsin, at Siren, it was clear, with a temperature of 39. It was partly cloudy, with a temperature of 50 at La Crosse and 41 at Wausau. At Milwaukee, it was mostly cloudy, with a temperature of 50. It was cloudy, with a temperature of 41 at Phillips, 45 at Hayward, and 42 at Green Bay. In eastern Minnesota, skies ranged from clear to partly cloudy.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 buds. 1, 2, 3, 4 buds, and then I'll scritch this to go in there.
So you want like 4 buds above the graft.
Yeah, if that's.
Do you need a better stool?
This is a nice sharp knife.
Are you good without gloves?
Yep.
Okay.
So I've got my little spear. I've got some cambium.
Can I see? I'll take a picture. It wants to look like that. Big, long, nice, green. Okay. And then the mate to that, you're going to... And while the blade's in there, you crank it open and just slide it in because it's a wedge.
I'm just trying to get at least one side, really see how that's touching on that side.
Uh-huh. And then you wrap the heck out of it
Yep,
and label it.
yep,
And what is this one?
it's state fair. And
Okay.
plus I have all this scion wood that I bought, that I've done already.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that it will take.
And this is root stock
Yep,
in
I
the
have
box.
2 different kinds of rootstock.
Okay.
What I'm doing right now is an M111.
Uh-huh.
It's a semi-dwarf. Should be cold hardy. The other is a G890, which I've never tried before. Should be.
Good for our zone. Is that like a standard size tree?
No, they're semi-dwarf.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. And what I do is I go like this. I didn't have these labels at home, so I hand wrote labels.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm just gonna go like this.
And then into a bucket of water until we can plant them in the dirt?
Yeah, I just gotta get a bucket somewhere just to put them.
Okay.
This is how I do it. Whether it's right, I don't know. If it's gonna take, I don't know. And I should put some of the grafting stuff on top, but I didn't for the other one. So hopefully there's enough cambium touching. There's one.
Uno.
And so I'm trying to find, see, these are narrow scion wood, so I'm trying to find the narrower scions rootstock in here.
Because you got to match the pencil diameter.
Can you try?
Come with me as we take a walk and inspect the orchard. It's been a few weeks since I've been up here, so we're going to see the status of what needs to be done, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be addressed. So let's walk on out.
The forecast for northwest Wisconsin, including Ladysmith for today, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 60s. North winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. At 6 a.m. in Ladysmith, it was cloudy. The temperature was 43 degrees, the dew point was 42, and the relative humidity was 95%. The wind was northwest at 5 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.04 inches and rising. Across Wisconsin, at Siren, it was clear, with a temperature of 39. It was partly cloudy, with a temperature of 50 at La Crosse and 41 at Wausau. At Milwaukee, it was mostly cloudy, with a temperature of 50. It was cloudy, with a temperature of 41 at Phillips, 45 at Hayward, and 42 at Green Bay. In eastern Minnesota, skies ranged from clear to partly cloudy, and temperatures were between 39 and 44 degrees. Once again at 6 a.m. in Ladysmith, it was 43 degrees under cloudy skies. This is Weather Radio Station WNG 577, Ladysmith, on a frequency of 162.55 megahertz. We broadcast from the National Weather Service Forecast Office in Chanhassen, Minnesota, serving listeners throughout much of northwest and west central Wisconsin. The current time is 6:18 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for portions of...
Oh, look, the tree fell over. I gotta go look at that. I'm looking yonder.
This is Weather Radio Station WNG 577, Ladysmith, on a frequency of 162.55 megahertz. We broadcast from the National Weather Service Forecast Office in Chanhassen, Minnesota, serving listeners throughout much of northwest and west central Wisconsin. The current time is 6:18 a.m. Central Daylight Time.
And Chris Anderson, she's celebrating her birthday tomorrow. So Harold and Sheila would like to wish them both a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to them. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, and you're on the birthday club. Good morning.
Morning, Grill.
Yes.
We wish Herb Blaisdell a happy birthday today.
Happy birthday, Herb. All right.
Yeah, 39, I think.
I think so.
39.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks
so
a lot.
happy birthday to Herb.
Okay, thank you. All right, Herb Blaisdell, happy birthday to him. All right. So what do we have here? Just about ready to wrap it up for the birthday club here for this morning. Hey, thanks for joining us. Enjoy this beautiful Friday, okay? And have a very safe, enjoyable weekend. Always drive carefully and buckle up. And thanks for joining us. Right now, our temperature at 55 degrees. Enjoy the nice day. It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to WLDY, WJBL, Ladysmith.
I bet this guy made some noise when it came down. And I noticed it when there was snow on the ground that it was on its way. It had been lilting and tipping. But look at that split. Oh, geez. We can see the fissure in there, a level of rot. It just lost its structure. And that, my friend, is a lot of sauna wood. We got the split. This might have been the event when it fell. It split all the way up to here. That's a good 15 feet. Kerrang! Yeah, I gotta clean this up because I do mow back here. Glad it didn't hit the shed. the garage. Let's look at the rest of this tree. That might survive another year. Okay.
The Chinese military band broke into a tune that President Donald Trump has made his signature walk-off song, disco hit, YMCA. The song was played during a private portion of the dinner, a White House official confirmed. The official spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the details of the private portion of the dinner. Trump closes his campaign rallies and most official events with a song which he dances to while throwing slight fist bumps into the air.
Mobility is much easier if you don't have to trudge through knee-high snow. These trees are rebounding. I would say 3 weeks from now they will start to bud. Right now I'm just checking for storm damage and death. By and large, these are Norland trees. They're doing okay. Let's take a peek at some of the young'uns. All right, let's see. That's good. I see green. All right. The wire fencing seemed to be intact. We do the best we can to keep the deer away from eating the young trees. So I have 100 and some of these hoops around each tree. This one got kind of blown over. Probably lost its stakes. Can be straightened out. This is good. This is good. We'll survey this guy over here. These are planted about, let's see. We've got some good buds here. Yeah, we're still about 3 weeks before vigorous leaf out. Deuce de Charlevoix. Let's see. You are alive there, mister, too. Doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. The swallows are out. They're populating all the trees. I have them facing east. The early springtime, the birds are out. That's nice. They're black with a blue sheen. Sometimes I see eastern bluebirds. They compete for the houses. This guy, yeah, yep, just a matter of time. These are all living. That is good. The good. Freedom, again, alive. Let's see, I've got 3 massive piles that I do need to chip up. Look at this guy. Is this a frostbite? Let me check this out. No, this is a crab. Crab is doing well. And that will help with pollinators. Yep, that crab is advanced. Got 2 crabs. This is doing well. This is a Cortland. So you try to take an opportunity to regenerate the orchard. You might remember last few weeks ago, I did extensive pruning back here. I have some stuff to clean up. These trees are doing well. Once again, a few weeks before they bud out. That's a fruit bud. More fruit buds. Those would be a leaf bud, and then that's a fruit bud. These guys are suffering. These are, oh, what is it? Hazen. And they have an unusual shape. They're at the end of their life cycle. This one especially is doing the struggle. And it does take the brunt of the heavy winds that come this way. So there's an exposure. We can see how we're doing. Oh, I see green cambium. Not completely dead, mostly dead. There you go, guy. Barn swallow. Go help pollinate everything. I believe this is a pear. No, it's a Harrelson, I'm sorry. There used to be a pear here that didn't survive. So we got Harrelson. All right. Another Harrelson. Looks living. I'm seeing lots of living. Not vigorous growth. Frostbite is good because, well, they fruit early. I've seen some first year trees actually bear fruit, which is kind of funny. Some small tree like this with one apple on it just totally bends over. This looks good. Plenty of opportunity to plant. What do we got here? I see life. Life is good. That's a macoon. We need more macoons. That's another macoon. This is low level, kind of marshy land. Over here is where I pulled out the grounding rod from the previous fence. A major endeavor. That sucker was 7 feet in the ground and it was bent and it was not coming up easy. I'd like to clear out all of this stuff. Not completely clear it out, but thin it out. I think previous owner used to do a lot of their pruning and put tree branches in there, so there's a lot of plant material in there. But this is the row I severely pruned last year. A lot of Harold Red and Beacon. This is one of my favorite aisles. It used to have a big kind of a canopy. I thinned it out quite a bit. Hopefully the trees will really enjoy the open sunlight. Once again, everything is starting to come through. You know, that's a fruit bud. That's a fruit bud. This is a beacon. Doing well. We'll have more apples than we can deal with, I'm sure. This one, what are we at? We're at Sweet 16. It's got some damage. A few more years out of this one, see if we can foster the growth back in it that we're trying to grow here. More Sweet 16s. This is a struggle one. Maybe we'll get one more year out of this guy. But it's showing life. You know, it's showing life. We'll give everything a good chance. Let's go take a peek at the cherries. The cherries. I see some damage there. Not so much from the voles. A lot of this mesh here has helped with the voles like to girdle during the wintertime. They will get up close and just chew all the way around the tree. And when that happens, it just kills the tree. It girdles the tree. Frostbite. A few more years, that's going to be a handsome tree. Now these are the cherries. We planted these 3 years ago, and they're going to take off this year. These guys are going to grow a lot. It takes a few years to get established, but we've got 5 Bali cherries. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And they're all looking really good. Hope we get to see the blossoms in the next few weeks on these small guys. But they'll be a handsome addition to the orchard. Over here we've got, oh my gosh, I'm seeing buds on the pear. They're early. They're a little bit bigger than our apple trees. These are a standard size, but the pear is blooming out. We got 1, 2, 3. There should be 5 altogether. Boom, boom, boom. These are Uri pear, U-R-E, and they're going good. This one used to be a huge tree, and then it got delimbed about 2 years ago. Lost about maybe half of the tree. You can kind of see the scarring down here. But it's surviving. The pear trees are super vigorous. You gotta be pruning them. This is a golden spice pear. They will just send up sprouts and these shoots. You can kind of see where I have the ability to trim to at the height, but I would thin this out a little bit more. Next year I'll do a better job. But we've got fruits. We've got fruits. Got to get out this stubborn stump. That's another planting opportunity. We've got one there. Old spacing was right there, but I'm not certain if I'd plant something there. I have other opportunities. This is all looking good. And yeah, like I said, tomorrow, if it's dry, I'd like to start grinding up and making chips. I would put chips all around these trees, all along the drip line. We did this a few years ago, and to these trees over here. And they're definitely beneficial. It helps keep weeds down. Yeah, this is kind of degraded from a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, I guess. You can kind of see the chip line where we spread about four wheelbarrow loads of chips per tree. I think it really improves, and it's a great way to recycle a lot of the pruning. I didn't get to this tree. Look at this guy, wild and crazy. Yeah, this one, I might just have to go ahead and start nipping at that one. Now this one's damaged. I want to foster growth in my direction. Take a look down here. Maybe it's not worth it. This one is a goner. I am already seeing rot, you know. But up high, I'll let it go 1 year. This is a beacon. And next year I'll plant something else here. Over here, more damage. You can kind of see the end guys get the damage. And that may be from deer. If deer get in here, they're on the edge, and that's the first thing they see, and that's the first thing they destroy. Okay, enough about trees. I could go on. All right. Uh, last guy I'll check on. Yep, these are all living. That's good. Let's check on the little guys over here. When I was here before, I didn't check on them. This is a tree. You can see what the deer do. They just nibble, and maybe this is alive, but it's very damaged. I'll dig that up. The Norland trees are doing good. I see flower, not quite flowering, but this is what I'm interested in, these 5 guys. This one was really chewed last year, and I cut it back. It's living. This is a frostbite. These are wild raspberries over here. I just have to mow them back, or it's a nice garbage welded wire. I'll get the garbage out of here. Collect garbage when I can. Oh look, another rock pile. I can harvest some of those. Get the tractor back here. It's a Harold Red. Looks like it's doing good. Oh, this one, Harold Red. Living, small. This one I had to cut back last year. It was dead. Okay. And so it is with the orchard, the living and the dead. While I'm out here, I'm going to look at the blueberries. Sorry, gotta go look at them. You see the old stumps here? I think this is a legacy of swampiness. I have a whole bunch of trees that I suspect drowned. And I have to deal with irrigation issues. As this lowland, I think the terrain changed, and at one point, previous owner made a blockade and created a back pool of water, and it caused lots of trees to drown. I'm seeing, let's see, some of the more established blueberries. Let's see, I'm standing right in the shadow. Yeah, I'm seeing buds there. I'm not seeing death. They need to be tended to, but everything is springing back into life. Everything is springing back into life. I don't see failed projects here. That's been nipped, but yeah, I see buds. Yeah, that's living. All this stuff appears to be doing. They're a shorter plant. I don't know how big they'll actually get, but I see some buds there. Deer have eaten that. We need to improve our fence here in the orchard. So I've gotten the terminals cleaned off a bit and used the wire brush on it, hooked them back up. Let's go test the voltage across the battery terminals. So stepping on up, and let's see, got my trusty Radio Shack, and let's see, we'll put that there. We're going to do positive, positive. We're at above 12. Okay, so let's give it a go. All 3, 2, 1, contact. And there you have it. Just cleaning off the terminals. Didn't have to mess with the solenoid at all, or the starter. That's all good. I just wanted to take a moment on talking about the equipment that I use to make videos. I have a GoPro. This is the black version, and it works well. And I use it in conjunction with the media mod. That's why the battery panel has been removed, so that it can socket into the USB-C. And so it goes on like this. You can kind of see the pin in there that mates in with where I showed you the USB-C is, and it slides fully in. You give it a good solid push and then close the door, and looks like my unit is already turned on. And I've got this attachment that helps mount it. I do have these additional access. This would be for the microphone, and this would be for USB-C for transferring files and charging. This guy up here, let's see, is like a micro HDMI if I wanted to hook up to a monitor or do I don't know, a big display device. I think I don't use that this much, but built in I do have a front microphone, and there's also a rear microphone, and it comes with a sound baffle which I've removed. It's kind of large. Improved audio, as well as an ease of charging. However, it's no longer waterproof, so you don't go diving off a cliff with this as it is into the water. Yeah, it's the access here or over here that's not waterproof. With this setup, you can get, and I've gotten an external microphone that's powered. I have a little remote microphone as well as the receiver. And let's see, these are, I only got the one microphone, but I have this clipped on out of the way in this location on this shoe. I could have it up here, but then it gets in the way of the quick take a picture button. It can only go in one way, and I'll show how it's mounted. Oh, that's maybe better. You can kind of see how there's a different profile, and I got the power button on the underside there, next to a sensitivity dial, and then this, when I use it, gets plugged into this phono jack here. See if I can do it with one hand. And then this one you would wear on your lapel. There's a magnet and a clip, and power button and sync button. And you can charge it by a little cradle that connects with these pins. And the clarity is very much improved over the built-in speaker on the device itself, and even more improved than the Media Mod microphone, which is located here. And so through the settings, it will automatically detect that you are inserted in a media mod, and then through the settings you could say powered microphone if you wanted to use this receiver. With the GoPro, I can disconnect that and go back to standard microphone or not unpowered microphone. I'll set that aside. What seems to work well too is headphones. And so I have a pair of these bone conduction headphones, and they will pair via Bluetooth. And I can do a setting. Let's see, let's power this on. Then I'll say pair device, and it will detect Aeropex. That's what these are. And then I'll tap on that. And we are connected. And these built-in microphones, I can do phone calls as well as listen to music. Now I have a built-in microphone near my head and mouth, and I don't need to rely on this. I still use this setup, but this is good to know. And so I'll just go back and go with that.
We're wrapping up another hour here on Polka Time. I'm so glad that you chose to join us during this hour. Happy music. That's what we try to do here. So until next time on Polka Time, keep the hooey in your heart and the oompa in your step. Tune into Polka Time, Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. to hear polka music from Wisconsin and the Upper Midwest. Get ready to grab a partner and dance to the all-vinyl show of vintage polka for a modern audience. That's Polka Time, Sundays at 7 a.m. on WOJB 88.9 FM, broadcasting from Reserve, Wisconsin.
The bugs found me again. I need to have a head net. But anyway, I've dumped off the load. The sauna's good because weird chunks like this will fit into the burner. It's kind of like an incinerator in there. And if I can fit it into the door, pieces like this, I can certainly fit in. Let's go by where the tree fell down. It's blocking a path that I use a lot, and so I'm going to open up the path. I might have to do this tomorrow when the wind kicks up, because the bugs, they're already in my eyes. Let's just load up the trailer and keep moving. But yeah, this is a different view of that tree. But more wind than yesterday. I'm back at the tree. This is the tree that fell over, one huge branch out of three due to line winds a few weeks ago. So I'm working my way towards the trunk of the tree. And so here I'll spin it around. And we are at this. I've used the bucket of the tractor to lift up the tree. This was all on the ground, and I've wedged it under there with a chunk of tree just to raise it up, so I'm sawing at a decent height. and I was out here a few minutes ago. Now I've got my tape measure here. Well, backing up, you might notice that I got a post hole digger on the back end of the tractor, and I want to take that off. All my post holes have been dug, and I need to put the chipper on there. Before I can take that off, I have to make a stand for it, and I'm contemplating making a stand for the post hole digger out of a section of this tree, about 30 inches of this trunk, and make a support for that post hole digger. I'm going to be doing a lot of work with the tractor. I've got the chipper attached to the PTO, and I've got 4 or 5 piles of brush that I'm going to reduce to chips. I've got the setup with the hay wagon and the catching mechanism already in place for the first pile. I do have to, I've done the pre-check.
Some of these are going to be a little shout out to listener Derek, who loves polka with trumpets. Me too, Derek. He wrote in this last week to say that some of the music I played last week reminds him of Johnny Cash and Ring of Fire. And I was like, yeah, Ring of Fire makes a great polka. These things are cousins. We're all cousins. And so is Ring of Fire and some of these great polka songs. It's all in the same family. So it's just the kind of song that you'll hear when Polka Time goes to summer camp. Starting on Memorial Day weekend, Polka Time will shift into a summer mode with all summer-themed songs. Now, I personally will probably be out in a canoe or on a bike somewhere, but please tune in to Polka Time on your normal schedule, and you'll hear all the good Wisconsin-y polka that we love. So we appreciate you tuning in to Polka Time with DJ Shotsky this hour. Listeners can learn more about this program, why I play old polka records on the radio, and what events I have coming up by visiting djshotsky.com. And there you'll find a button for my newsletter called the Shotsky Lodge, where subscribers can get a preview of the upcoming radio show and hear about topics about music and the culture of Wisconsin and the upper Midwest. All right, so shout out to listener Ben, who I met out in the wild recently. Ben's another young collector of polka records, so he's one of us, y'all. We got to get him on the radio sometime, but hopefully in his collection, he's starting to collect some Romy Gaz songs, and we try to play Romy Gaz every week if we possibly can on Polka Time because it's just so good. So you want a trumpet? Derek, here you go. Romy Gaz, followed by a tune by Ernie Kuchera. First we'll hear Evening on the Lehigh, and then Ernie will play the Dreamboat Waltz. So here we go, Romy Gaz.
And so it's a good time to quit. I've cleaned off the equipment. I'm going to leave some of the stuff outside so that like the poop from the robins and the birds can all wash away. They get a cleaning of sorts. So I don't mind about that. I got 2 piles done, and that netted 3 bins of chips. I've got 2 more piles to do. Let's see if I can do it tomorrow. It might be wet, but in the next few days I got 2 more piles, which might net 3 more bins or 2 more bins. We've got more chips than what we need for planting, but for the orchard it's an endless need. So what I don't use for planting and blueberries, I'll put definitely back into the orchard. Yeah, I'm parched. Nothing broke. Everything worked fine. I had enough fuel. It's just time to shower off and get the chips out of the shoes and socks and do the laundry and think of dinner. You're probably asking what I'm drinking here. This is Switchel. And I made it. It's from our own cider vinegar. There's also some water, lemon juice, some ginger. It's what to do with the cider vinegar, right? You can put rum in it. This does not have rum in it, but it does taste like apple pie, and it's refreshing. I like it. Conditions continue to be super dry here in the middle of May here. We need a whole lot more rain. From the rain, I can see that the trees they got a green hue on them, so they're kind of bursting. The dandelions are certainly out. The birds are chirping and they're having a great time, and the air smells fresh. But the ground is still dry and we need more rain. A good day of soaking. I'll be chipping more today, so the conditions are still dry, and I'm going to be adding another layer of protection to my head. So as usual, I'll be using gloves when I chip because the apple branches are so snaggy. They're not straight and slippery limbs. They're kind of gnarly, twisted, and they're grabby. They're part of the rose family, and so by nature they will grab stuff like clothes, arms, sleeves, and they leave. I got scratches and bloody forearms and legs just from handling the branches. I'll be adding my red hat, and that will help keep the sunburn down on my back of my neck and head. I will be adding my bug net. So this is more of a sanity thing. When the bugs are in your face, going down your throat, in your eyes, up your nose, you lose sanity. I will be adding a respirator just because chipping the branches will generate lots of like sawdust in the air, dirt, etc. And those fines get into your mouth and nose. Coughing, hacking, who needs that in your lungs? So we'll be adding the respirator to the mix of head protection. The challenge is what comes along at the time and how you solve them. I think that's kind of key to being a farmer, is solving problems with the resources that you have. Here in winter, we're kind of remote. I don't have an ease to go into town. That will easily take an hour out and back to accomplish that. And so if I can develop solutions here with all the resources that we have here, that's the best. And so there are certainly other YouTube internet influencers who do the same thing. Some of my favorites, this is not an exhaustive list by any means, but I am a fan of the YouTube video channel Townsend's. John Townsend is, he recreates stuff, periodic pieces, and primarily with cooking, and he'll talk about how things used to be done in the yesteryear. He's very instructional. It's kind of a living history, and I like his usage of the slang words that were used back then, and so I like that. And he's from Indiana. Second on the list is a farm channel called Wishwell Farms. Jason Wish heads this up. He's a dynamo. He's always working, always thinking. He's a businessman. He's hardworking. He's very entrepreneurial. He's got a greenhouse with tomatoes. That's his bread and butter. Last year I just built a high hoop house. If we can mimic that, that would be very good. We are trying to grow. He's on a scale that's way above us at this point, but he's filled with tips and tricks. And so I really enjoy that information. He's from Bell Fountain, Ohio, and I used to ride my bike through there. I grew up in the Midwest and went to school in Ohio, and so I'm familiar with his location as well. Third on the list is, of course, Pete Larson from New York, just a few acres. I really like his calm and approachable demeanor. He's analytic. He tells you why he does things. He's very practical, down to earth, like I said. You can tell he's got an honest, genuine character. And it's sad that he's not completely discontinuing his channel, but cutting back on the frequency of his videos. And he's from New York. Dad jokes. Do I need to say any more? He raises beef and chickens. Used to raise pigs. The parallels are similar with trees and orchard, as with crops and other types of farming. He does pasture. He's knowledgeable on renewing the soil. That's my takeaway, is his incredible knowledge, generational knowledge of being on the farm. Number 4 on my list, I really enjoy a channel called Watch Wes Work. He's got another one, Watch Wes Wing It. Wes is from Illinois. I think it's Normal, Illinois. I'm familiar with that part of the Midwest too. He's a gearhead, which is dear to my heart. I really like his dry sense of humor, and he's filled with sarcasm too. But what really rings true is he sets himself up with challenges. He has genuine problems, which he solves nearly single-handedly. I love his effort to take time with his props and his devices to explain the whys and the wherefores and the solutions. And so I'm a fan of Watch Wes Work. Hope you check him out. Another one that, number 5 on my list, he's a guy out of New Hampshire. His name is, he goes by the handle Musty1. His name is Darren. Darren works with engines primarily, small engines. I haven't seen him work on large cars. That's pretty much a different channel, trucks and cars. But small engines, motorcycles, ATVs, lawnmowers, tillers, stuff that I work with a lot. I learn a lot from him, and I like the way he talks to the camera and brings you in like your video family, and he's got a dry sense of humor. So I like him. Even though he is a Trump supporter, I learn a lot from him. And the last on the list, and I hope you check this guy out because he's a star in his own right, Yuri Tuchman. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Tuchman. He's this wildcat from Germany. He's a Renaissance man. He does it all. His channel is 100% creative. He's very curious. He's basically an artist, and in the purest sense. And he's got a brand of humor that is so offbeat. I enjoy watching every episode of Yuri Tuchman. Check him out. Like I said, this is not an exhaustive list, but these are influencers that I'm trying to extract kernels of their talents and try to bring it into these video submissions that I'm trying to generate for Pumpkin Kid Farm. That's enough talking. I got to get back to work, and I've got to don all my headgear and do more chipping.